Soccer isn't just one of the most popular sports globally, it's also a massive business, generating tens and hundreds of billions of dollars for major corporations and owners of the planet's top clubs. Currently in Europe, a good soccer player's price tag starts at 50 million euros, and for a young talent it can reach 100 million. Prices are surging and the market is heating up, especially with high interest from Arab investors who have plenty of spare cash and a desire to outdo each other with their soccer investments. In Spanish soccer, Real Madrid and Barcelona are two of the primary contenders for dominance. Just a few weeks ago, the renovation of Real Madrid's stadium was completed, costing the club's owners and investors more than €500 million. Now the Santiago Bernabeu can host 85,000 soccer fans and features a luxury hotel, several restaurants, a shopping center and other exciting attractions. Barcelona couldn't just watch as its eternal rival outdid them with something better and newer, so in 2022 active discussion began about the need to renovate the Camp Nou stadium. Interestingly, this stadium initially accommodated 70,000 spectators, but after several reconstructions during the development, it expanded to 120,000 fans. However, such capacity is only possible with the use of standing areas. Before the grand reconstruction, Camp Nou had 99,354 seats. It's the fifth largest stadium in the world and the largest soccer stadium in Europe. Since 1984, it has also been home to Catalonia's second most popular museum, the Barcelona Museum. It attracts over 1.2 million visitors annually, which makes around 3,300 visitors daily. But historical preservation and maintaining a traditional appearance are far from what modern Barcelona aspires to. During the pause in European sports life caused by the pandemic, Barcelona's presidential board actively targeted the necessary permits for a major renovation of this venue. At the beginning of 2023, the work commenced and Barcelona moved to the Luis Companys Olympic Stadium, where it plays all its home matches this season. Barcelona plans to return to its home stadium in the 2024-2025 season, but they will be able to use only up to half of the spectator seats. The reconstruction is expected to continue until 2026. According to the current plan, the reconstruction will involve just under 1.5 billion euros. Initially, the budget for the renovation was set at 1 billion euros, but over time the club owners' ambitions grew and new investors emerged, ready to invest in the legendary stadium. In April 2023, it was announced that the Camp Nou renovation would be financed to the tune of 1.45 billion euros, which is almost $1.6 billion. This is likely to make it one of the most expensive sports stadiums in the world. You might wonder where such enormous funds will come from. Considering that the stadium will be renamed Spotify Camp Nou after the renovation, it's evident who is providing a significant portion of the funds. A part of the financing, as per the agreement, will come from the club's profits. The construction is being financed by Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan and about 20 other international financial organizations, with all debts expected to be paid off by the year 2050. So what exactly will change in the new Barcelona stadium? First and foremost, a completely new soccer pitch will be created. The turf will be of higher quality using modern technologies for quick pitch replacement. Criticism of the pitch quality has been one of Barcelona's main issues in recent years, and the club will soon be rid of this embarrassing problem. Also, the stadium will get a roof, so spectators and players will no longer have to get wet in the rain or faint under the scorching Catalan sun. An important innovation will be the expansion of VIP areas. There will be many enclosed spaces with a great view of the stadium. Of course, Barcelona intends to make a good profit from this upgrade, but more on the revenues later. Naturally, an increase in the number of seats to 100 105,000 is also planned. For now, this figure is preliminary and appears only in unofficial plans and reports. The designers have also not forgotten about energy-efficient technologies. The surfaces of the stadium facade and roof will be covered with solar panels for generating electricity. The complex will receive a new water recycling system and the equipment for geothermal energy generation will be implemented. It remains unknown whether there is a plan to make the stadium completely independent of external energy sources. But most likely this won't happen in the foreseeable future. After all, energy consumption during evening soccer matches is quite high, and solar panels alone won't be able to fully cover these costs. The reconstruction of Camp Nou will not only affect the stadium itself, but also several square kilometers of the surrounding area. Plans include building a new club hotel, an office complex for the club staff, and parking facilities for buses and cars. Is such an upgrade beneficial, and how long will it take for Barcelona's new stadium to pay for itself? Perhaps it's more accurate to talk not so much about financial benefits as about the club's image. Barcelona couldn't just stand by as Real Madrid and other La Liga clubs continued to invest in their stadiums, growing in popularity and developing their brands worldwide. If Barcelona had continued playing in a stadium built in 1957 without any changes, its image would have started to decline compared to the status of its rivals. Regarding profits, the club plans to generate an additional 30 million euros in annual revenue thanks to the reconstruction. The club expects that after all the work is completed, the museum will bring in about 80 million euros a year. Around 75 million euros are anticipated from ticket sales and an equal amount from renting VIP rooms. Match subscriptions and sponsorships are expected to each contribute another 50 million euros. Additionally, the club will be able to earn from concerts, sports conferences, sales of food and beverages in restaurants and parking fees. In the 2022-2023 season, Barcelona reported an operating income of 1.3 billion euros, with operating expenses almost reaching 1.2 billion. Thus, an increase of 30 million euros a year can hardly be considered the main incentive for such a substantial and costly stadium renovation. Evidently, the targets of image and status as one of Europe's top clubs are the main motivators for Barcelona's leadership in making these significant investments, which could easily plunge the club into another financial crisis. However, I hope that by 2025 you and me can meet at the renovated Camp Nou and enjoy the club's splendid performance.